Hey everyone, welcome to a special trade deadline edition of Locked On Lakers. Brian Kamenetsky, Andy Kamenetsky. Kyrie Irving wants out again, this time for reals. Should the Lakers do anything about it? Next.
You are Locked On Lakers, your daily Los Angeles Lakers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thanks to everybody for making Locked On Lakers first listen, and now maybe your second listen of every day, Monday through Friday, sometimes on weekends, and certainly when bizarre things with Kyrie Irving happen. Always free, never behind a paywall. Locked On Lakers on YouTube, and everybody knows the rest of this. Andy, we got to go here. This almost feels like Hollywood now, where you get like the reboot of the franchise you thought was done, but it's not. Kyrie Irving, according to Charania and others, on Friday has made it clear he would like to be traded by the deadline from Brooklyn, or he will not re-sign with them this offseason. Thought we were done with this story. We are apparently not. Andy, your thoughts?
First of all, before we just get into any of this, I would have had so much more respect for Kyrie if he had had the wherewithal to do this on yesterday, which was Groundhog Day. Like that would have been absolutely perfect.
I actually would have advocated for the trade at that point.
I would. I think I would be at least, I mean, not to spoiler alert anything, anybody familiar with our work over the last year, because Kyrie's been connected to this organization for about a year, probably has an idea where we're going this, but I would be 5% more open to this if Kyrie had the wherewithal to have done this on Groundhog Day. And
putting your openness level at 5%.
Well, because here's the thing. This would actually be a sign of self-awareness, of which Kyrie has displayed absolutely none, which is part of the problem.
So people, for people who may not have followed this saga closely, or perhaps lost track, it was as recently, I believe, as late January that Chris Haynes was reporting that Kyrie wanted to stay in Brooklyn, wanted to work out an extension, this wasn't even there.
Reporting. Kyrie's stepmom, who is also his agent, told this to Chris Haynes on the record. Like it's reporting, but it's not like unsourced or anything like that. It's Chris Haynes having, a pipeline to Kyrie's agent and getting these comments on the record.
I don't know necessarily what has changed. I mean, obviously Kevin Durant's been hurt. The Nets are not playing as well. When that group was together with KD and Kyrie and Ben Simmons starting to play a little bit better, at least with Durant in the lineup, like Nets, what was it? Won like 18 of 20 or something, and some great run. So they've shown that they can play. I am not sure what happened between the statement of Kyrie's stepmom agent to today, but that's kind of the point, right, Andy? It's like that day goes by, over the summer he wants out and he doesn't want to, never going to play there again, and then he's fine, and it's somebody else's thing, and now I don't know what's different, and you don't know what you're going to get day to day with Kyrie Irving.
And that's really the thing, because remove some of the specifics, like, the film containing anti-Semitic tropes that Kyrie, no matter what he claims, was promoting by putting this on his social media platform with that type of audience. Like, remove the specifics of that. The larger point that you raised is about being erratic and being unreliable. And Kyrie has shown himself over the last several years being just wholly unreliable. He is unreliable in the sense that he's often injured, which obviously is not his fault, but it is a factor. But he's unreliable just in the literal sense of you cannot feel confident counting on Kyrie Irving for anything, which gets to the question, because obviously the Lakers are going to be linked to this. It would be shocking if Rob Pelinka's had the self-control to not already be on the phone.
Oh, I hope somebody took his phone away. Like, somebody needs to get his phone. Like, I'm not saying, like, don't go get the phone, like, because look, nobody, nobody's beating down the door before the deadline to trade for Kyrie. Like I don't think that's going to be a thing. I feel like this is definitely lobbed and targeted towards the Lakers. And okay, you got to think about it, and we'll talk through some scenarios here and whatever, and I'll play devil's advocate even if we need to do it. But like, you got to count to 10 or 20 or even 30 before you pick up the phone and start doing, like, someone needs to take his phone away, not permanently, but at least for long enough that we can, all think soberly about what this is.
I mean, the way I look at it is, I guess, because this is a mini show, so I'll just get to the nut of it. If the Lakers make any type of deal for Kyrie that they are not willing to treat as a low-cost dice roll, that they would be willing, that they're pot committed to the point where they have to re-sign Kyrie Irving long-term in order to justify what they gave up for him, they are damn fools. Period. Full stop. They are fools. Like, if they feel comfortable trading for him as a rental, fine, because the imperfections of this roster as it currently stands are well documented. We don't need to go through them all again. I'm sure they'll come up on the next show. But if they put themselves in a position where they have to commit to Kyrie full term, they are fools.
I can't imagine you could swing a trade even for a distressed asset like Kyrie Irving for less than the 2 first rounders that they have available before the deadline to give up here. It is important, I think, to separate some things. I do not like Kyrie Irving, the person. I think Kyrie has become much more interested in playing the role of Kyrie Irving iconoclast than he really is in basketball. Which is part of the reason he has become so unreliable. I find the things that he traffics in to be offensive often. I find them generally be irresponsible, periodically dangerous, and I do not buy his just asking questions kind of approach to this stuff. I don't. That said, if he were just a guy who believed a bunch of stuff that I didn't believe, and I thought was not somebody I would want to road trip with, but was reliable on a professional level, this whole deal would be different. It still wouldn't be, it would still give me pause. It would still be something that I would really want to think, is this a voice I want in my organization? Is this somebody I want to have representing me? Is this the kind of headache? Do I want to have to deal with, every time he posts an Instagram post about some conspiracy theory somewhere, do I want to have to answer to that as an organization? But if he were all of those things, but really reliable professionally, it's a different equation. But he is that, and he's unreliable professionally. The flip side of this, though.
Okay.
But let me just play the devil's advocate side.
Sure.
He is unquestionably, I think, the best basketball player the Lakers could get for 2 first-round picks, whether now or this summer. There is not going to be a better player than Kyrie. Kyrie is a transcendent basketball talent, particularly on the offensive end, and he actually is not bad defensively when he's paying attention. It would be a massive upgrade to the Lakers roster at a time when the Lakers are still very close to, the top 6 position. The integration period with Kyrie would be at least made somewhat easier by the fact that he and LeBron have played a lot of games together. So like that learning curve is faster. He would represent the best player that they are going to get to try to make this year something that can turn out in a really positive way with a multiple playoff round run. You are not going to find a single player who can do that more than Kyrie Irving. Does that change does it change your thinking about it all?
Again, if they can do it in a way where you can reasonably say, we're taking a dice roll and we will let him walk after this year, no matter what happens, even if they win a championship, dude's walking. Like, unless we can re-sign him for such a cost-effective contract that it's, at this point, we're essentially screwing him over. Like, we're basically taking advantage of the fact that he's burned every bridge in the league. And you know what? It's his fault. We're going to capitalize on that. Then I guess maybe I'm open for, but for what it seems like Kyrie is looking for, I maintain my stance. If you commit to this guy long term, you deserve whatever you get. And look, maybe what you get is success. But so far, what we've seen is it's pretty much all headaches. And the last thing I will point out, because I know it's going to come up, the people who say LeBron has a relationship with him, they won a championship together. To put this in perspective, how long ago that was, Barack Obama was president when they won a championship together.
Mm-hmm. Different dude. He's a different dude now.
And LeBron was the guy that could get through to Russ. Remember? And I haven't seen too many Laker fans happy with how that psychology has gone. Like, he's not a babysitter. LeBron is not a babysitter. And that's not supposed to be his job on a team.
There are 1,000 other directions that we could take this conversation. And I'm sure it'll come up in full force throughout the deadline week next week. But as as this news broke, this is like the kind of thing that we definitely wanted to respond to, especially since we will not have a full show until Monday. So Locked On Lakers on YouTube is where you go to see all this stuff. And before we go, Andy, this
Locked On Lakers brought to you by Rocket Money. Are you wasting money on subscriptions? If so, you are not alone. 80% of people have subscriptions they forgot about. For some, it's an unused Amazon Prime account or like a Hulu account that you never even activated in the first place or used, whatever. There's a great app that helps me keep track of all my expenses. I use this in real life. And because of it, I never waste money on subscriptions. You might have heard of it. It's called Rocket Money. It used to be known as Truebill. And the app shows you all of your subscriptions in one place, cancels what you don't want for you. And it might even find subscriptions you had no idea you were still paying for. And to cancel a subscription, all you got to do is hit cancel. Rocket Money takes care of the rest. Cancel unnecessary subscriptions with Rocket Money today. Go to rocketmoney.com/locked-on. It could save you hundreds per year. Again, rocketmoney.com/locked-on.
Locked On Lakers also brought to you by FanDuel. This year, the only app you need at your Super Bowl party is FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. And we are really excited about our new sports betting partner for Locked On because they are the #1 sportsbook in America, and that is FanDuel. If you're new to FanDuel, awesome. That's even better. They have so many great features that make betting on sports fun and easy. So you download FanDuel now so you can bet on the Super Bowl 57 with a no sweat first bet. You get up to $3,000 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. FanDuel lets you bet on everything from the money line. I mean, I read, get in there and read about it. Make sure you understand what you're doing. But yeah, I know. To point spreads, to who will score a touchdown. Andy, calm down. I love this game. I don't know who to bet. I just want to see like all these, like the prop bets on like Mahomes and Hurts and some of the stuff that those guys could just do individually. Could be a lot of fun to get into there. FanDuel Sportsbook app is safe. It's secure. It's super easy to use. And best of all, you can get paid your winnings instantly. So feel free to join FanDuel at FanDuel.com/locked-on to claim your no sweat first bet on Super Bowl 57. That's FanDuel.com/locked-on. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL. We'll see everybody next time.